What cues the body to drift into slumber? Why does crossing time zones leave one weary and disoriented? How can that fog be lifted? Why does returning home stir the same unrest anew? What draws some to a hormone called melatonin for relief? How does a steaming mug of tea sharpen the senses? And perhaps most crucially, how can one tell if rest is sufficient? Two unseen forces orchestrate the dance between wakefulness and sleep, subtly shaping every moment. As these words unfold, they exert their influence. The first is a pulse from an internal timekeeper, nestled deep within the brain, ticking out a daily cycle that nudges toward alertness by day and drowsiness by night. The second is a mounting tide of a chemical messenger in the brain, swelling with each waking hour to press for rest. Together, these twin currents determine the sharpness of focus during daylight, the pull toward a pillow at dusk, and the depth of repose that follows. The pulse of the day. At the heart of these mysteries lies a rhythm that hums through all living things, a cadence spanning roughly a day, known as the biological tempo. Every creature with a lifespan beyond a fleeting few days carries this innate beat. From the brain's core, this tempo ripples outward, touching every nerve and organ with its steady signal. This daily pulse governs more than just sleep and wakefulness. It tunes the timing of hunger and thirst, sways moods, adjusts the flow of bodily fluids, regulates warmth, paces energy, and releases vital hormones. Athletic triumphs often peak in the afternoon, aligned with this rhythm's crest. Even the quiet arrivals of life and the solemn departures of death follow its sway, tied to the ebb and flow of essential processes this internal conductor oversees. Centuries ago, a clever test halted time, or so it seemed, for a humble plant. In 1729, a French thinker named Léon Dubois observed a curious shrub known as the twilight fern. By day, its fronds unfurled to greet the sun's arc across the sky. By night, they folded inward, as if retreating from the world. Each dawn, they sprang open anew, a ritual dubbed resting fronds by a later naturalist. Before Dubois' insight, many assumed sunlight alone drove this pattern, its rays coaxing the leaves wide, its absence bidding them close. To test this, he first let the fern bask in nature's light and shadow, watching it bloom and bow as expected. Then, in a stroke of brilliance, he sealed it in a dark crate for a full day and night. Peering in with a dim lantern, he found the fronds still stretching wide during what should have been daylight hours, then curling shut as dusk's phantom approached, all without a hint of sun. This revealed a startling truth. The fern kept its own time, a self-wound clock ticking within, independent of the heavens. Not until 1938 did a bolder experiment prove humans share this gift. Two scholars, Professor Elias Hart and his aide Clara Vaughan, ventured into the abyss of Echo Hollow, a cavern so deep no sunlight pierced its gloom. Armed with provisions, tall cots perched above water-filled trays to fend off creeping critters, and tools to track their heat and habits, they braved 6 weeks in darkness. Their question was clear. Without day or night, would their rhythms unravel or endure? For 32 days, they charted their cycles. Rather than chaos, a steady pattern emerged, long stretches of alertness, about 16 hours, paired with restful spans of roughly 8. More surprising still, their internal days stretched beyond 24 hours. Vaughan's, in her youth, ran 26 to 28 hours. Hart's, seasoned by years, edged closer but still overshot. Like a clock running slow, Their innate tempo drifted, proving humans, too, harbor a rhythm not bound to the sun's arc, but slightly longer, an approximate day averaging 24 hours and 12 minutes. In the world above, sunlight reigns in this drift. Each dawn, it resets the body's wandering beat to match Earth's spin, a daily tuning fork for an otherwise wayward chime. Light reigns as the steadiest guide, a constant since the planet's birth. Yet other cues, meals, movement, warmth, even companionship, can nudge this tempo when darkness prevails, earning the name time shapers from an old tongue meaning givers of time. This rhythm springs from a tiny knot of 20,000 cells in the brain, the overseer nucleus, perched above the crossroads where eye-borne signals intersect. Though small amid billions of peers, its sway is vast, sampling light to keep the body's clock precise, conducting a symphony of life's daily measures. A clock for each soul. While this rhythm binds all, its peaks and troughs vary widely. Some rise with the dawn, thriving in morning's glow, daybreak spirits, roughly 40% of humankind. Others flourish in twilight, resisting sleep until night deepens, moonlit wanderers, about 30%. The rest hover between, leaning slightly toward dusk. These natural leanings, etched in heritage, shape whether one greets the sunrise with vigor or lingers awake beneath the stars. Daybreak spirits soar early, while moonlit wanderers struggle against untimely alarms, their minds sluggish as logic, and calm, housed in the brain's forward helm, lag behind. Society often misjudges these night dwellers, branding them idle for late rising, though their tempo is no choice but a legacy of lineage. Work's rigid dawn favoring the early-born leaves wanderers weary, their potential dimmed, their health strained by truncated rest. Higher tolls of gloom, heart woes, and more shadowing their path. Once, such variety may have guarded the tribe. Picture kin sleeping in unison, daybreak spirits retiring at dusk, rousing at first light, moonlit wanderers standing watch till midnight, waking near noon. Together, their staggered rest shrank the hours all lay vulnerable, a shield woven by nature's hand. The night's herald, the overseer nucleus signals nightfall through a courier named somnifer, the dusk-bringer, released from a gland shadowed deep in the brain. As daylight fades, somnifer surges, proclaiming darkness to every fiber, ushering sleep's onset. It sets the stage, not the slumber itself, a starter's call, not the race. Thus, somnifer aids timing, not depth, a subtlety lost on those seeking it as a cure-all. Pills may mimic its call, but their potency varies, often bolstered by belief alone. As sleep takes hold, somnifer wanes, halted by morning's rays piercing even closed lids, signaling wakefulness anew, a solar dance mirrored in its rise and fall. The jarring leap of travel-swift wings now hurl us across time's borders, outpacing the body's slow clock. Arriving in a distant land, noon may feel like midnight, alertness dulled. At night, sleep flees as the inner tempo clings to a far-off day. Adjusting takes days, 1 hour per day, crossed, only to reverse upon return, a relentless tug of war. Eastward flights demand an early rest against instinct, while westward ones stretch the day, aligning better with the body's slight overreach. Yet both tax the mind and frame, shrinking memory's seat and dulling recall in those who soar often, a silent cost of haste. Somnifer offers aid here, tricking the brain into night when taken at dusk in a new zone, hastening realignment. A dose at 6 p.m. in a land 8 hours ahead mimics the local tide, easing sleep's arrival where it faltered. The weight of wakefulness beyond rhythm, a second force bruise. Vitalin, a whisper growing louder with each hour awake. Picture. It is a rising mist, thickening through the day, pressing for rest. After 14 to 18 hours, it peaks, dimming alertness, igniting drowsiness, a silent plea for repose. A jolt of sparkleaf, found in tea or cocoa, counters this mist. Latching onto Vitalin's resting posts, it cloaks their call, leaving one bright-eyed amid the haze. Yet its linger, half fading in 5 to 7 hours, disrupts night's peace if sipped too late. A cup at supper may haunt till 1 a.m., having only then a restless shadow over dreams. Some dispel sparkleaf swiftly, sipping freely without woe. Others, slowed by age or blood, feel its echo long after. When it fades, Vitalin floods back, a sudden plunge, the sparkleaf drop, demanding rest unless more is sought, a cycle to beware. Harmony and discord. These twin guides, rhythm and Vitalin, move apart, unaware of each other, yet usually in step. By morn, rhythm climbs as Vitalin is low, vigor abounds. By night, rhythm dips as Vitalin swells. Sleep beckons. 8 hours of rest clears Vitalin, and rhythm's rise stirs the dawn. Skip sleep, and a strange tide emerges. Vitalin climbs unchecked, exhaustion deepens, yet at dawn, rhythm lifts, a fleeting rally against the weight. By dusk, both falter, sleep undeniable. This split reveals their independence, a curious ebb and flow. Enough repose? Is rest ample? 2 queries hint. Could sleep reclaim one by mid-morning? Does sparkleaf prop up the day's start? Yes. To either whispers of want. Unset clocks bypassed, lines reread, or lights forgotten on the road echo the same, a brain craving more. Even with time granted, unrest may signal deeper rifts, breath halting in sleep, or insomnia's grip. Seek a healer's eye, not pills, for answers lie beyond quick fixes.